Good morning and welcome back to the last morning of the Roller Derby World Cup 2025 here in Innsbruck, Austria, hosted by the Fearless Bruisers. I am Dork Mistress
I am Jumping Spider.
and we're here to give you the last morning show on the last day. And we've also brought a special guest with us.
This is the Roller Derby World Cup. As you can see, 3 panels, 1 name, USA Roller Derby, who will be going for their 4th consecutive victory.
And we'll talk a little bit about that later, but we thought we'd show you what this is all for. This is the morning show, as we said. It is brought to you by AAA. We are very grateful to our sponsors to allow this to happen, and it's on and it's been on YouTube, and it will be, so thank you very much to them. But first of all, 3 days, 72 games, and yesterday was just incredible. I mean, every day is incredible. I must stop using the word incredible. What's been your highlight so far?
I mean, the games that I've seen, the team USA Roller Derby versus Fuego Latino was one of the games of the tournament. France versus Sweden yesterday had a result both at halftime and at full time that I'm not sure anybody was prepared for. And of course, just the fact that we have 49 teams representing countries, borderless nations, the largest World Cup that we've ever been able to put on.
Spider's also not selling himself for bench for Team West Indies. How did the West Indies team enjoy the tournament?
It was an absolute ball for our team, and as I told them in the locker room yesterday, our 2 wins did not come Thursday and Friday. They came in September when the team began training, and even before that, when they first put on a pair of skates. So every single person earned it, whether they had stepped on the track this weekend or not. I made sure to tell them that, as well as the rest of the coaching staff. And I'd like to give a special thanks to them, Wu, Jack, Lee, and Ramit for allowing me to come on this journey with them, as well as Amazing Disgrace, who captained this weekend. We had a blast, and I believe we earned our spot in that final 12.
Absolutely, and I think that's huge progress from 2018 for Team West Indies. Who are always more the lower end of sort of the rankings. When you look at 2014 and 2018, so incredibly strong performance, and partially down to yourself, but also the skaters. So congratulations to West Indies.
Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate it.
And we've had just these amazing performances from teams, some of whom have been to the World Cup before. When I think you look at Philippines. Incredibly strong performance to make it into those quarter-final qualifier games yesterday morning. And I'm still feeling smug that I predicted France would be competing for semi-final places and that Belgium would make top 8. But that's the strength of European roller derby really starting to show, as opposed to 1 or 2 countries. And I think the Latin American teams, although not coming away with the results that they may have wanted, have had such a presence here.
Team Colombia was one of the fan favorites of the tournament. Selección de Colombia. Chile, that played very well against England. Brazil, that we played West Indies team. And I was able to talk with the coach afterwards. And I believe that they are so hungry and ready after their experience at this World Cup that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with at the next one. We've seen it already going back to 2018 when 2x4 burst onto the scene, but people didn't understand what they had been building up because the news hadn't really reached South America yet. And so with France this year, 3 teams going to championships and having played them at the May the 4th tournament in Leeds, I knew that France would be very good at this World Cup. You knew that France would be this good at this World Cup. I think now everyone else has finally found out.
Yes, and it's a nice segue onto the semi-finals that we have this morning. So we are getting underway in a few minutes on track 1, which is now. So no track 2 anymore, so they've all been renumbered on the website. If you have a streaming pass and you go to rollerderbyworldcup.live, if you haven't already got your pass, all the tracks have been renumbered. So track 1 and 2 is now track 1, and it's huge. And on that track in a few minutes, we're going to have USA-France. What do you think?
Well, France will have the crowd behind them. They have been loud and full throat, boisterous all weekend long. I say weekend even though we started on Thursday. It's an extended weekend for all of us.
Yeah.
But it's we're still waiting for the day when somebody can take USA to the limit other than Australia in those finals in 2018. France is going to do their absolute best. I expect a barn burner.
Absolutely. It would be really good to see France getting close to, sort of close to that 100 points. I think against USA would be a really positive move because nobody's got near that yet at this tournament. I know that I spoke to the French team. They are very focused on a medal. That's their goal, is a medal. So, if the USA win in that game, they go straight into the final, and that would put France into a third, fourth playoff, so still a chance for a medal. So they came in focused on that, and I think that, that's their goal will be that. And we'll just wait to see how close they can take it to USA. The other semi-final, England, Australia. And I've been asking people, and me and Bob, my co-host, we disagree.
Well, naturally.
Not naturally. I support Wales. So, and I live in Wales, so I don't necessarily
very fair
always support England. But I actually I think England have come here on a mission.
They seem like it. I mean, it's easy to pick out Lily Gaskell.
Yeah.
Well, one, because she's very tall.
Yes.
But also because she has been one of the hearts of this England team for a while now. And I say one of the hearts because they really are 20 combined that work as one strong beating heart. Yeah. And they, I think, like USA, are a team that waterfalls very well. Yeah. And they play defense frenetically. They play defense with a maniacal nature, which is what it takes to play good defense in this sport, where I've told teams in the past that I've coached, jamming, the reward is you get a little bit of open space, you get to stroll a bit. Defense is the reward for playing good defense. You get to play more defense.
Yeah. I always, I can't stop watching Evans when it comes to England. Not a flashy player, but makes everybody around them better. And I just think that that's really sort of fundamental to the team. And an ex-skating colleague of mine. So I'm a little bit biased. So, but Bob thinks Australia are going to take the win.
Well, Australia has been a strong team for so long. Victorian Roller Derby League kind of anchoring that, but I think more teams, as I talked to Bob in this before the tournament started, really coming in and bolstering that presence. And we all know what they can do because we have seen them play for so very long. But I mean, when you go to the finals and you can't quite get over the hump as they did in 2018, it means so much more the next time around. And I think because of the fact that we've had such a long time between tournaments, that fire has been burning inside their minds that, a miss here, a miss there. One thing that we just could not quite do correctly the last time put us in this position now. Yeah. And so they have had 7 years to work on correcting and ironing out all of those little mistakes.
But I think that in the semi-finals, that's the one I want to watch. I think the crowd are already filing into this venue. And it's, as you can probably hear in the background, already loud. And we've still got 10 minutes to the game to go. So those are the semi-finals. We still do have some of the games that would have been on day 3 if we hadn't put the quarterfinals in there. I know, rude. So we have got Wales-Greece at 9:30. That's going to be on track 5. So I think, and again, not being biased, I think Wales have been unfortunate in this tournament. They've had 2 of the closest games, and it's not gone their way, and that sort of put them in this position. So I think that they have something that they will want to say in this game.
Difficult game for them, a difficult finish against Fuego Latino to open the tournament. And I know that they had eyes on getting into those qualifying rounds to get into the quarterfinals and semifinals. So they'll be going for it against Greece today. I've already seen a lot of Wales fans ready to tune in and watch that game. On the other hand, Greece, a surprising performer, I think, for me at this year's World Cup. I was not sure how they would perform, and they've done very well. So that should be a very good competitive game.
And I think the way you can see that in the game against Korea, they were 100 points down, but closed it to 50 by the end. That takes heart, that takes grit. So I think that will be a good game. And we've got Denmark-Poland on track 4. I think Denmark again, a team that maybe haven't had the results that reflect their strength. Poland, a comparatively new team. So I think, you know, Denmark have got that, you know, they were there in 2014, they were there in 2018. So I think they'll probably have the stronger performance.
You would think so. The Team Poland had I think a learning experience of sorts against Team Puerto Rico at yesterday's game, trying to work against their speed and their what I like to call chaos ball type of derby, really mixing things up. So Denmark, another European team, I think with that kind of ethos, maybe not as fast as Team Puerto Rico was, but I'm excited to see how Team Poland does, and not least because being from Chicago, I have a lot of Polish friends back home. Na zdrowie!
And then we move to the 11 o'clock games. So we have Colombia versus Desi on track 1. I think that will be fun. I think that will be just a fun game with teams who've clearly been having the times of their lives.
I hope that there are supporters that turn out for that and don't just stick to one arena or the other because you're going to miss some fun derby, exciting players. And I think every time somebody comes to this World Cup, they become a better individual player.
Yeah, and Salam Latvia will round out those sort of day 3 games, and that's on track 3 at 11 o'clock. Salam, I think, you know, again, that's all about heart. That's all about community. That's all about, you know, coming together. And Latvia, again, one of the newer teams, I think will come away from this quite new in roller derby terms. You know, it's a mix of people from Latvia and people from outside, and I think they will have learned so much from this.
Well, if you think about how Wales did at their first World Cup, only finishing in the group stages, I think had 1 win. The next time around, they were in the top 20.
Yeah.
So that's what these teams are shooting for. They're trying to build a foundation that they can then build up into a base and then move forward from that. That's what Salam is trying to do as well as Colombia.
And then and as you can hear, the games are going to get underway, so we'll try and wrap up shortly. So we've got the parade of teams at 1 o'clock. That is available on YouTube and on the stream so that you can see it where you'd like. And that will take us to about 3 o'clock. There is a performance at the start, so make sure you're on time. But then we move on to 3rd, 4th place. So we don't know who that is yet.
Right.
You know, we have feelings about who it's going to be, and that's about 3:30, you know, ish. We expect it to be at 3:30, but who knows? We've got derby between now and then it's the final, and then there will be a closing ceremony. So do please stay on the stream the minute the game is over. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience here. I'm so grateful for everybody.
Of them are here to just assist in putting the tournament on. And I know we've had more than 5,000 people throughout the week. Just a quick story. We met some people at the Hilton Hotel who were coming in from Philadelphia and had the usual, you know, I remember roller derby back in the day. So they wandered in and just saw some people playing, and that I absolutely have to see this. That's what this World Cup means.
Yeah. So thank you for being on this journey with us. Remember that you can get your passes at rollerderbyworldcup.live and check out our community